Hey everyone, this is Rap News Blog, and welcome to the best and worst and moments in TV and movies of 2018. So I've been doing this thing like every year where I count down to all the worst moments and all the best moments that happen in movies and television moments. So we could get a rundown of what's been going on each year, whether it be something a celebrity has done or something that happened in the movies and stuff like that. And I usually like to start with the lows first because I like to end the video on a positive note rather than a negative note. So to celebrate the new year, let's dive into the new year without being too negative and just end it off with something positive. So before I get into some of the best and worst moments that happen in movies and TV show and TV moments, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It could be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of movie or TV show news released in the week that I wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. And let's dive into this. So let's start with the low ends, like the bad things that happened in 2018. Of course, there was a lot of celebrity deaths that happen, which is always tragic when a celebrity passes away. But here are some of the celebrities who had died in 2018. We had the death of the anime director Isao Takahata. For those of you who don't know who Isao Takahata is, he was the creator of, I believe, the Grave of the Fireflies anime. So for those of you who've seen that, he has worked on it, and he's worked with a lot of films with Hayao Miyazaki. So he had passed away last year, which is very tragic because again, he was like another major anime director besides Hayao Miyazaki, so that was quite tragic. Another one was the death of voice actor David Ogden Stiers. Um, yes, David Ogden Stiers. And for those of you who don't know who he is, he voiced Cogsworth and Jumba from Beauty and the Beast and Lilo and Stitch. So it was tragic that we lost another voice actor into all this. So there's that. There was also the death of Stephen Hawking. For those of you who don't know Stephen Hawking, he was a physics or who was well known, or he usually shows up in a lot of TV shows in his wheelchair. But yeah, there was the death of Stephen Hawking. There was also the death of Harry Anderson. For those of you who don't know who Harry Anderson is, if you've seen the show Night Court, he was the Judge Harry. So he played Harry the judge in Night Court. So it's tragic to see him pass away, especially since I used to watch Night Court a lot, and it's really sad that he has passed away. Um, then there was the death of Aretha Franklin. She was a very famous singer, and I did listen to a couple of her songs, so it's tragic that she had passed away. So may she rest in peace. Then there was the death of Steven Hillenburg. He's the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, and he had passed away last year due to fighting a disease he was struggling with for many years. So it was really tragic that we lost one of the most inspirational creators from Nickelodeon, especially with the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants. So I was actually really shocked when that happened. But yes, may he rest in peace. And the last death that happened last year, probably the most tragic death, was the death of Stan Lee, who was like the pioneer. He was the one who pretty much created Marvel Comics, and he used to show up in a lot of the MCU movies as guest appearances. I was really shocked when I heard that Stan Lee had passed away, and I'm really upset that he has passed away because he was such a huge impact. He had such a huge impact on Marvel Comics itself, and now that we lost first Jack Kirby and now Stan Lee, the two architects of Marvel Comics, it's very tragic seeing two well-named people pass away. So I do wonder where the MCU is going to be headed at this point, where Marvel Comics is going to be headed at this point without Stan Lee. So that was very tragic. So for some non-death news that happened, there was John Kay, who was the creator of Ren and Stimpy. He was accused of sexual harassment, which was really, yeah, it was unfortunate. It's the same situation with Chris Savino being accused of sexual harassment. He was the creator of the Loud House, and the same thing happened there. So I do wonder where Ren and Stimpy is going to go at this point after this happened. Um, There was also some incidents that happened on Twitter that caused the firings of director and a celebrity. So the first one was that the Roseanne revival ends up getting canceled because the main actress Roseanne Barr, she ended up making tweets on Twitter about that were racist tweets towards somebody, and Disney caught hold of that and they fired Roseanne, and it ended up getting the show canceled. There is the show called The Conners out, but I'm not sure how well that show is doing or not. But yeah, that was unfortunate. And then there was James Gunn, who was the director of the Guardians of the Galaxy films. He got fired because apparently there were some tweets he made 10 years ago that were like pedophile jokes, and Disney caught wind of that and they fired James Gunn from the Guardians of the Galaxy project. And there was a huge commotion going on around that, especially with one of the actors, I think Dave Bautista, who played one of the characters in there in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was threatening to quit the franchise because of James Gunn firing. And this is an issue that I was kind of like, really, Disney, you're gonna fire somebody over something that happened 10 years ago? I mean, Roseanne, the incident with Roseanne I can understand because it happened recently, but the incident that happened with James Gunn was something that happened 10 years ago. And you can't help but wonder, would something like this affect how people do their jobs in the future? What happens if somebody said something on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and they end up getting fired over it, even though it was had nothing to do with the job? So I do wonder about where that's going, and I do wonder where the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise is going to go at this point without James Gunn. So I guess we have to wait and see how future installments with Guardians of the Galaxy is going to go. So those were mostly all the bad things that happened in movies and TV show. But now let's move on to the positive things. Again, we want to end this video on a very positive note. So here's some good things that happened in 2018. So of course, Black Panther and Avengers: Infinity War broke box office records, and now they're the highest grossing superhero movies of all time. And Black Panther in particular is very special because it was like the first superhero movie that has a black protagonist in the lead role, and it went on grossing millions at box office. So that's a very historic moment, especially for a superhero film that has a black protagonist. That is I just love the fact that that movie was able to break all these box office records and make a historic moment in movie history. And I actually seen Black Panther and I really enjoyed it. I think it really deserved grossing that high at box office. So I was definitely happy with Black Panther grossing so much money at the box office. And of course, Avengers: Infinity War grossed a lot of money also. That's a movie I still need to go sit down and watch, even though I have the movie now. I got it for Christmas and I need to sit down and watch Avengers: Infinity War. But yeah, kudos for Marvel for breaking box office records. Another one, and this is probably non-movie or TV show related, but probably real life. We have Prince Harry and Meghan Markle getting married. Meghan Markle is like the first American to get married in Britain. So, especially to a prince. So this is a pretty historic moment too. In television history. So I like to see where their wedding, where their relationship is going to go at this point. But the last thing that was really surprising to me was Aquaman broke holiday box office records. So we were wondering for a long time if Aquaman was going to do. Sorry about that. We were wondering for a while if Aquaman was going to do well as Wonder Woman did, because years ago Wonder Woman also made headway with a lot of people by being one of the few films from the DCU to actually ring in true with the audience or be something positive for the audience. So the fact that Aquaman was able to break the holiday box office records is really great. And so far, the only two DCU movies that seem to be very successful at this point was Wonder Woman and Aquaman. It seems like. So I'd be interested to see where the next few DCU movies is going to go. I like to see where Shazam is going to go, and I am a bit interested in the Joker movie. I don't know. We'll have to see what the new Joker movie is going to be like. So we have to see how the DCU is going to be like in the near future. But I am interested to see where this is all going to lead up to. So those are the highs and lows that happened in 2018. Yeah, there seem to be a lot of negative things that happened in 2018, mostly with the deaths of a lot of celebrities, which is usually a thing that happens. It's usually an incident that usually happens every year. But there were some good things, like a lot of box office records got broken, like Black Panther and Avengers: Infinity War, and surprisingly Aquaman. So, that's a good thing on itself. But I am excited to see what 2019 is going to bring. Is it going to be a better year than 2018? Is it going to be a worse year than 2018? I can't wait and see. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with 2019. So I hope everybody had a nice new year so far. I had a pretty nice new year so far, and I hope everybody else had a pretty good start in 2019 so far. Um, so that's it for this video, and be sure to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated on new videos to post up, and also like my Facebook page, Rabius Blogs Best Comments, and also support me through Patreon so I can continue to push out great content for this channel. Well, hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabius Blog, and I'll see you later.